Welcome back to the Meeple Marathon. Today we're going to be taking a look at Ascension Tactics. Now this is the retail version of the game. You will see that I have purchased the playmat and the card sleeves, but there are no miniatures in this game. So ironically enough, they decided to call the whole thing Adventure Tactics Miniatures Deck Building Game, but the retail version doesn't come with miniatures. But I'm actually okay with that. The standees, the artwork is nice. I'm just not a huge fan of just the block, square. But they've got the name on it. The picture matches the artwork. They're easy to identify. I've got enough miniatures in my life. I haven't really seen any reviews, positive or negative, on the actual miniatures. But the game itself is getting a lot of good reviews. And from what I've played so far, it is a nice, pretty quick, very basic, really, deck building game that takes the basic deck building elements of building up your deck, using your cards on your hand to either purchase new cards to improve your deck or attack an enemy. Except in this case, it's not just as straightforward as attacking an enemy, it's commanding your heroes, who then have certain abilities, certain movement, to go out on this map here in front of us. So similar to how Clank has you moving around and attacking. We'll get to all that here in just a minute. So I'm going to give a brief overview on how to play the game as we go through the first couple rounds of the game. So this is going to be a playthrough followed by a how to teach video. So after setting up this scenario, this is part of the campaign. If you play through it, there's actually only one scenario in the rulebook that is labeled as a true solo scenario or co-op scenario, where you can utilize the AI system that's included in all copies of the game. I haven't really tested out the other ones to see if you could or could not play them solo, but the campaign is designed to be played solo or co-op. So that gives you plenty of options. So this is not the introductory scenario, but a little further down the road. It just so happens that I have my champions here have all ended up being part of the Lifebound faction. I don't know if that's down the road going to be a good thing or a bad thing, that they're all kind of in the same allegiance. Maybe I needed to spread myself out a little bit more. But anyways, you're going to have a set of champions here that are just going to stay in front of you. All right. You're also going to have a set of villains who are going to just sit in front of you. They don't have, they're not going to be shuffled into their deck or anything like that. So each of the champions has a standee, and that's really the only people that are going to be coming out onto the board, except possibly cultists, who both sides can command a cultist. That's why this card is here. If you choose to command a cultist for 2 power, you'll basically just go out and can maneuver them as you wish. Not every turn, if you have someone out on the board, will you be able to get them to do stuff. You can only command people that you have power to command for. So you'll see these numbers down here in the red kind of circles beneath at the bottom of everybody's card is how much power it takes to command. So even if I have Flytrap Witch, who's kind of my leader here, even if I have her out on the board, I still have to spend 4 power from my hand. And let's see what my starting hand looks like. My starting hand actually has no power in it. You can see it is all apprentices. Everybody starts with a basic cards in hand, but the heavy infantry here, you can see this is what a kind of militia card would look like, except the militia cards are just going to have a +1. And some of you might say, well, look, you can't even do anything in this first hand. Each player, regular player champion, also gets one of these cards right here that you can see gives you once per turn gain 2 power. So you always have 2 power to use. It's represented in a card, so you can tap it or turn it, flip it over, exhaust it, whatever you want to call it, to know that it's been used. All right, so you're going to spend your power to activate your champions, and then you're going to spend the in-game currency here, which is represented by these triangles, to purchase new cards. Very straightforward deck building mechanics. For the most part, these cards are going to go into a discard pile that when you're draw pile runs out, you shuffle that discard up and start drawing from it. Some of them, however, do have this, if I can get the glare to go away, this keyword ambush here. Ambush is something, an action that you take. A lot of times it's optional. You take that action as soon as you pay for and add that card to your deck. So even if it's going into your discard pile, the Arbiter of Precipice here gives you something that says command a champion for free. Your Void champions have +5 attack. So, you know, it's an expensive card, but it's giving you something right off the bat. There are other, well, here, these are the best way to do it. As part of the scenario instructions, I was told to set these 2 cards off to the side. You can see here that these both have the keyword construct on them. These you have to purchase in the normal way. They go into your discard pile, but when you draw them back up again, they can be added to your heroes as equipment. Think of it like that. And so they are going to boost. You'll notice that they each have stats on the bottom of them here. So when you slide them under a champion, you just kind of, they all have pluses. You add those stats to your base stats. If, however, your champion is defeated out on the board, these go into your discard pile. So you have to then shuffle them back into your deck, draw them back up again. When it is and that's basically it. The scenarios each have various rules for how you score points. Points are going to be represented by these little crystals here, a 1 and a 5. And you score points either by defeating a villain champion. You can see here there's numbers in the stars. The stars is the symbol for victory points in the game. So if I defeat Tyrannix here, I'm going to get 3 victory points. Or if I'm standing next to these shrines here, I'm going to get 2 victory points if I have control over yeah, I just wanted to check and make sure, sorry, that that's what the scenario said. 2 victory points if you have complete control over a shrine. That means you're either on it or adjacent to it, and you have the most amount of champions there. So if I have 2 champions here and say Tyrannix is right here, the AI, I am victorious. But if he has Tyrannix and Icarus Steelfoot, then it's a tie, it's a wash, nobody gets any points. And you only score for those locations at the end of your turn. So you can move into position. You don't necessarily need to hold it through the other person's turn. It's not like at the end of a round you count up, which is nice. It's at the end of your turn. If you control the point, you're going to get the victory points. When you activate a champion that is not on the board yet, they have to be placed onto the portal, and then they can move. If they're already on the board, then you can move them from where they are. When it is the AI's turn, we're going to draw 2 of these cards. It's basically going to tell us, you know, it might give them bonuses, but the basic thing is it's going to tell us which one of these to command. And the AI's direction is very straightforward. If they can reach a player champion and kill it, they will. If not, they will then move towards their spawn point. Now, you can see these 2 tokens here and this one here have been laid out. There is not a token for the Nihil Bomber, which is a little interesting. I'm wondering if there is a mistake in the scenario book. I have not played this scenario yet. I'm thinking that it should be here, because normally every shrine has a token on it, and this one even has 2. But basically, they're going to activate out of that portal and start working their way down to the shrine that they are supposed to go towards. So even if Hedron Smithy here could reach this one, you know, that's the shortest path, he's going to go over here. And these 2 guys up here are going to head down to this one. If they can kill someone instead, they're going to head that way and attack a person. Attack and defense in the game is very straightforward. Similar to other deck builders, it's either all or nothing. If you can do all the damage to a villain or bad guy, you're going to wipe them off the board. If not, they're going to heal back up at the end. So you can see here, for example, the Fly Trap Witch attacks for 7 and has 7 defense. This is how much it costs again to activate her. So if she comes across someone who has less 7 or less defense, for example, the Nihil Bomber, Hadron Smithy, even Icarus here, actually all 4 of these guys, without any boosts, she could take out in one foul swoop. If, for some reason, you get out there with Rut and the Runic Lycanthrope, who do 5 and 3 together, if on the same turn they both attack, say, Tyrannix with his shield of 7, they will defeat him. So you can accumulate damage within your turn, within the same turn and activation period, but after your turn ends, if you have not wiped them out, it goes away. There is no way of tracking that in the game. You just have to know, all right, Rut is adjacent to him, Runic Lycanthrope is adjacent to him, they did that much damage, he's gone. So again, it's very basic, very straightforward. The rulebook is a little thick in my opinion and a little wordy. It's a lot of text, but at the heart, this is a very straightforward, simple deck building game. If you are familiar with deck builders, you should have no problems understanding that the mechanics of this game. So we are going to go ahead and get started, and hopefully you can pick up on how things go as we go along. Oh, one other thing I forgot to mention. These terrain tiles here are representative of a mechanical wall of some sort in the scenario. Basically, I cannot cross into or through these tiles unless I have a construct attached to my hero. And then this point and this point here is where I can pick up, like this is technically the blast goggles and this is the rocket courier construct. So there are constructs already on the board that I don't need to pay for. I just have to end my turn on them. Other than that, I think we're ready to go. Treasure tiles, if you end your turn there, you get to pick it up, and end your movement there, you get to pick it up immediately and then you just use it. They're all just buffs and bonuses. Forest spaces usually require 2 movement to move into, nothing additional to move out of, but you'll notice one of my champions here, Rut, is not slowed by forests, and he actually is getting +8 in the forests. So he's a forest dweller. I'm going to try and put him in the trees and keep him there as much as possible. All right. You always get to go first, and as I already showed you guys, I basically have 4 money to spend. So let's look over here. These are just piles of the same thing. So I always have heavy infantry or mystics available to me, which I might go that route. The Void Rager, though, is not that bad. Dogs of War aren't that bad either. Heavy infantry is going to give me the same thing. This gives me the ability to draw 2 cards. So I think I'm going to go with that. So you'll see here that Dogs of War just going to go into my hand. These are listed as champions. What's on here is listed as a hero. So a hero is just part of your deck. He's going to give me 2 command when I play him. And then if I defeat someone, he's going to give me +2. So I'm going to put him down there in my discard pile. I can now command somebody for 2. So that's either Rut or my Runic Lycanthrope here. Let's go ahead and get Rut out onto the board. Yeah. So Rut starts there, and then each champion, both villain and player champion, have 3 base movement. Very straightforward. So unless they're buffed in some way, he's going to get to move 3. We're just going to go 1, 2, 3, and this is actually a double. Wait, but I can't move on to that. I just realized that. I can't move on to that, so let's go this way. 1, 2, 3, and we'll pick up this one. All right, so here you can see treasure token. This one is going to give me +1 movement and +2 attack. You basically lay this down and say, all right, I am giving this to Rut for the turn, and he has all of these capabilities until the end of the turn. So I'll just set this off to the side somewhere where I'm not going to forget. Refill this row, and we are done. And that's a turn. That's it. That's all there is to it. I had nobody to attack, so we're moving on. All right, so this is what the AI cards look like. Eyes of Chaos here. Place a cultist on or adjacent to the moon hex, which is this one, and then we surge. Okay, so let's just cover that. I actually did not pull out any yellow bases for the enemy cultists. So, my apologies. I get to choose where I'm going to stick this guy, so I'm going to stick him right there. All right, so he's going to score points for them, and then the surge ability down here is different depending on if you have a boss champion or depending on the scenario. This scenario, it says deal 4 damage to all player champions. You may destroy a construct equipped to one of your champions to prevent this damage. So unfortunately, Rut here only has 4 defense, so he is already back off the board. All right. Now, you'll notice there are 2 parts to this card here. At the bottom here, you'll notice this 8. Now, this is cards in the discard pile. If there are 8 cards in the discard pile, we will read this bottom part. It's a way to kind of ramp up the game as it gets later into the later stages. So this is obviously the first card, so we don't do that. All right, and then he gets kind of 2 cards on his turn. So Dark Glory here, command the green guy, which is Icarus, then immediately score honor shrines controlled by villain champions, and we don't have to worry about the bottom. So that's not good, and I'll tell you why here in a second. So Icarus Steelfoot here has range, has attack equal to the highest cost card in the center row. Ooh. So right now he has 7. I can't easily get rid of that, so he's an interesting character. All right, so we start him there, and then he's going to move towards his spot here with 3 movement. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So then the card told us to go ahead and score points. So we're going to go ahead and score their points here. We're going to give them 2. Put that up there so you guys can see it, because he is controlling the shrine. And then now it's the end of their turn, so we're going to look to see which shrines they control, and boom, they're going to get another 2 more. So, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Should definitely be able to get some people out on the board now. Okay, so here's what the militia look like. I've got 2 militia and 3 money to spend, essentially. So there's no constructs on the board. There's no real way to get stuff out of the center row unless you purchase it. That's one of the few things that I don't like about the game, is that the AI doesn't necessarily remove stuff, except for a handful of cards. Well, they will wipe everything for the most part. So 3, ambush. Put Giga Cultist into your hand. Command a cultist for free. Instead of it attacking, you may defeat that cultist to deal 6 damage to all adjacent champions. But if there's a surge, he's toast. But it's not a bad little play. Every time he comes back up, I'm going to get a cultist for free. So let's do that. I've got 3, so I'm going to take a heavy infantry. And I'm going to take the Giga Cultist here. So as we noted earlier, ambush you do immediately, and then that's it. It's a one-time effect. So put Giga Cultist into your hand. So he's going to go right into my hand. That's my 3 I've spent. God, I need to get rid of this card. And then, so let's go ahead and just use the Giga Cultist. I can command a cultist for free. So I don't have one on the board, so I might as well drop one on here. He can pick up treasure just like everyone else. So I'm going to end his movement right there, because he can go 1, 2, 3 and be done. Rut was able to make it here because Rut is not slowed by forests. There's my bonus token. The AI, by the way, will just pass right over treasure. All right, so now I've got 2 command plus 2 command here, so 4 command. So I could do either Runic Lycanthrope and Rut, or Flytrap Witch. What do we want to do here? That surge ability would just take Rut. Oh wait, Rut has +8 while on a forest, so he is not toast. This is a special card, a sigil that I gained. It's part of the campaign. And so you can see this is a double-sided card. I essentially have this card in my possession. It's part of my team for the rest of the campaign, and I can choose which side I want to play with on any given scenario. And so I have chosen the side that says Rut has +8 while on a forest, and so he would not have been killed. He actually had 12 health, so 4 health would not have done him in. So this changes everything. I have a lot more people on the board now. Yes, sir. Okay, so if I can do him for 2 and him for 2, let's do that. So let's go ahead and do the Runic Lycanthrope. Where does he want to go? I need some constructs, people. Let's just head him up. Rut would be best right there. If Rut can just live right there, he can pretty much control that location. So, all right, I take that back. I'm going to do Rut first and just put in his movement to go 1, 2, 3. And there's a +5, and Runic here is going to go 1, 2, 3. He's going to head over here. Okay, and so there you go. There's the first 2 full turns. I'm shuffling up my deck at this point, and then we're going to give the AI another turn. But that's how you do it. I haven't scored any points yet, but it's coming. Don't worry. Let's put this right here. Also, I could have put him down here on this portal. Maybe I should do that. Yes, I forgot about this portal. So we're going to have Runic Lycanthrope go 1, 2, 3 here, which means he instantly gets to equip the Blast Goggles. Right? Did it say instantly equip it? And acquire the set aside. Okay, so it has to go into my discard pile. I'm just going to shuffle that up right now. This technically comes off out of the game. Yes, I like that better. So I just need to get him. Okay. I feel like this scenario is all about managing those surges and making sure I can survive. And really, it's just Rut who would be in trouble. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Widow's Kiss. Each player destroys one of their equipped constructs. Luckily, I have not equipped one yet. And then command Tyrannix. So Tyrannix is going to come out. He is going to go 1, 2, 3. He wants to get right here, but he can't, so he's going to go 1, 2, 3. Even though after Tyrannix is commanded, if there is a construct in the center row, banish it and command Tyrannix a second time. This can only happen once each turn. There is not a construct in the center row. So, whew. All right. You can move through allies, but you cannot end your movement and share a space with an ally. So that's why we had to put Tyrannix there. They're both wanting to head to this one right here. All right. Fires of War. Villain champions get +5 this turn. Command your son person. So let's just check and make sure I was doing this. When Nihil Bomber dies, he deals 7 damage to all player champions on the battlefield within 2 hexes. Okay. Like I said, he's got to go somewhere, right? Or is he really just meant to go after the players? I feel like they would have said that in the book. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3 with him. All right. And there's 4 cards now over there. No, 6 cards? 4 cards. Yeah, 4 cards. Okay, my turn. I've got my Giga Cultist back, which is nice. My Dogs of War. So I'm going to be getting 3/5 command, and I can command that cultist there for free. So where do we want to send him? So yeah, let's just go ahead and take care of this. Giga Cultists, instead of attacking, yeah, we're going to kind of head him this direction. Maybe we can take out some of those guys. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3. Yeah, kind of hide in the trees. All right, I've only got 2 payment here, 2 money. I kind of like the Void Rager here. So we're gonna purchase the Void Rager. And so here is a construct now for 6 plus 10. You know, ambush effect, you may defeat any champion on the battlefield. I might need to pick up some mystics here so I can start purchasing this stuff. All right, so now I have just my 5 command to think about. I think I definitely want to do Rut and the Runic Lycanthrope, I guess. Take out that cultist, get that treasure, control that point. But that is going to leave me vulnerable to Icarus Steelfoot if Icarus Steelfoot does something. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's the only place he can go. So maybe let's wait until... What do I want to do here? Also, I need some Lifebound cards to come up in my center row here because Fly Trap Witch gets range. If I've played another Lifebound card, Runic Lycanthrope gets +5. When you deploy Tusk Rider. Okay, so let's do Tusk Rider and Rut. That's going to be my 5. So Rut is going to go 1, 2, and just hang out right there. I guess he could pop up and do the Nihil Bomber now, but we're not going to worry about that too much. He's basically indefensible in the forest. I mean, completely defensible. I said that wrong. All right, so Tusk Rider has movement of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And +5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He could hide up there. Anywhere else? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're just gonna use him to keep running up here and scoring us some points. Okay. I did not defeat any champions this turn, so I don't get to draw 2 cards. Oh man. Yeah. I'm just gonna hold pat. All right. So I wait. Back it up. 1, 2, 3. All right. Instead, I'm going to do Tusk Rider, and I'm going to do the Runic Lycanthrope. We're going to try and get Rut up there as well. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to end my movement here. Claim that +2 movement, which I don't need. All right, Runic Lycanthrope is going to attack the cultist who only has a defense of 1. So this is considered a champion for that time. So I can draw 2 cards now. There we go. That's what I wanted. I got one of my heavy infantry here. And technically I got this. I already spent all my cash, right? Yeah, I only had 2 and I spent 2. So that is useless. But Rut now can go boom, boom, boom. All right, perfect. Okay, it's the end of my turn, so I'm going to get to score there and there for 4. I owe myself 1 more. I thought I had the right amount of crystals out here, but I was 1 short. All right. Okay. Yeah, his turn. Seize the Wind. Villain champions get +1 movement this turn, and this is for the whole turn. Command Sun, which is the Nihil Bomber. So the Nihil Bomber is going to move here. He can reach Rut, but he can't defeat Rut. And he wants to be adjacent to here. And the AI says that technically you move them adjacent, and if there's a chance that they can be close to another champion, you put them there. So I believe I'm playing this correctly. I believe that I can just place the Nihil Bomber there, adjacent to Rut. He could technically try and damage him, but he's not going to. He is just going to keep me from scoring points until Rut smacks him around. Now, technically, I have to have the power to activate Rut and attack, but I'm thinking Rut just is going to hang out there all day long. Okay, I just checked the rules, and yes, for the most part, they want to put themselves in range, and so the Nihil doesn't have range necessarily, but they do always want to end up on the actual shrine if possible. So he's going to stop there. He still is adjacent to Rut. He will be doing some damage to Rut, but Rut will be fine. Now again, this is only because I have Rut and I have his sigil out. So this is not necessarily like I've broken the scenario in a way. I just have really set myself up well. All right, that was the first card. And now all villain champions are still getting +1. So I'm going to command Tyrannix here and then Surge. So Tyrannix is going to get 2. Yeah. Because he's going to banish this construct. And then get to go twice. And this is the 6th card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. Alright, and then we're going to Surge. So he is getting 4 movement. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to take out my cultist. Alright. Then what happens is he can... Wait, hold on. No, he won't do that. He's right here. Hold on, put my cultist back. Because there are champions I think he can defeat. With 9 attack, he's going to go after my Runic Lycanthrope. Yeah. He can reach someone he can defeat first. So he's going to go here. He's going to defeat this guy. Then he will banish that card. He gets a 2nd activation, and he can banish the Tusk Rider here. That's all the further he needs to go. It puts him adjacent to a point now, so even though it's not his point, I'm pretty sure he still scores the points. So they're actually going to get 4 points, and there's Surge, which means that this cultist is now gone. Rut is okay. Well, Surge would have done 4, Nihil Bomber would have done 7 for 11, so this matters. Rut has 12, so he just barely survives by the skin of his teeth. All right. But I'm pretty sure they're going to get 4, so they're up to 8 now. And basically we're playing to 40, by the way. First team to 40 wins. All right, it's my turn. So 3 apprentices, my blast goggles finally, and when you play blast goggles, draw a card. Alright, so Rut, without doing anything, can take care of Nihil Bomber. Tusk Rider would be at 7. That would save him not from everybody. So we're going to give it to Runic Lycanthrope. Here. Alright, and we get to draw a card. Alright, I now have 4 apprentices. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 militia. Now, I have 3... Oh, wait, no. Nihil Bomber does not get to score here because Rut is there. Sorry, I just realized that. Even though he's on it, we are still tied. Okay. So, I need to replace this. One, two, three, 4. What do I want to do with this? Ambush, gain a treasure. Enlightened Allegiance, draw a card. I can command a 3-person one. If I give him this, he's looking at no, it's only going to work with the Tusk Rider here, but it's a decent amount of points. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and command my 3. I'm going to do my Tusk Rider. He gets 5 movement and 10 attack. So he's going to run up here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and spear Tyrannix. Boom. That's going to give me 3 victory points. And then I have 4 money to spend, essentially. Unfortunately, I don't have none of these cards that I can afford allow me to do much of anything. So I'm actually going to go here and here. I'm going to go this route. All right. Okay. And so we're tied here. So we're just getting 2 for the Tusk Riders. All right, we're on our way. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Unleash Chaos. Reveal a treasure from the bag and give all villain champions that bonus until the start of their next turn. Command. So they're getting +3 attack. Command the Nihil Bomber. Okay. So, interesting note. If someone is already on a point that they want to take, they will not move and they will score those points immediately. So these guys are going to get 2 points, similar to that other card. Then he's going to attack Rut with 10. Rut's going to take it, but if there's anything else that hits him, if it's 2 or more, he's done. All right. Banish the center row. Deal 2 damage to each player champion for each enlightened card banished this way. And then we're going to command Hedron Smithy. So unfortunately, this is going to do 4, 6. This is basically taking everybody out. So Rut gets knocked out. And Tusk Rider gets knocked out because there was 3 enlightened cards. At least I got rid of this, which is nice. Didn't really like having that card around being as expensive as it was. And here's a Lifebound card, so that's good. More Lifebound cards, okay. All right. And then, since we now have 8 cards, I'm pretty sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No. All right, this is the discard pile. We haven't put this in the discard pile yet. Now we have 8. So I'm going to turn these that way to remind me that I have 8. All right, so Hedron Smithy does not come out yet. And they're going to get 2 points for their Nihil Bomber. So they're at 10 and I'm at 9. Okay, now it's my turn. Oh, Void Rager, your champion's at +2, draw a card. So I'm going to go ahead and play this guy. Just got me another apprentice. So I have 3 apprentices, 3 money to spend, 1 Giga Cultist. So let's go ahead and use him. Where do we want to go with you, sir? Gosh, 1, 2, 3, I guess. Maybe head him up there. And then here we're gaining 2 if an enemy champion is defeated this way. This turn you may draw 2 cards. So I could command that cultist again and get the Nihil Bomber off that spot. Because I can buff the cultist. Give him one of these. Now, the Nihil Bomber would kill him in the process, but at least he's not taking anybody else out. And then I would have... Oh, he's already got +2. So I don't even need to give him anything to defeat the Nihil Bomber. And then I would have 2 more to maybe get Rut or the Runic Lycanthrope back out there. Yeah, let's do that. All right, so we're going to go 1, 2. That's all he needs. He's already got +2 from our Void Rager here. So our Void Rager is giving him 4 to attack the Nihil Bomber. So the Nihil Bomber's gone. I'm getting 2 points for that. Let's see. Here we go. And this also defeats him in the process. Nihil Bomber's, you know, like a Unabomber. Deals damage when he's defeated. And then I can get... Yeah. Runic Lycanthrope about 1, 2, 3, but that's as far as he can go. Yep. Ooh, and I have my 3 to spend. I definitely want to start getting some of these cards here that have Lifebound. You may destroy an enemy construct. They can get them, but they don't have any yet. But I just want that card, so. All right. I'm not scoring any other points. Okay, each player discards a card at random. Command the Moon, which is the Hedron Smithy finally. And now we're going to go below. So let's see what we lose here. I lose an Apprentice, so that's fine. And he's going to come out. He wants to go there. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3 and be done. Now deploy a cultist on or adjacent to that hex. So let's put him right here, actually. Yeah. Oh, on. I guess on is the primary one. All right. And then over here, villains get slay, gain 1 victory point. So that means if they defeat somebody, they get a victory point this turn. Command the Nihil Bomber. All right, so let's do that first. He's going to come out and go 1, 2, 3. And players discard all defense treasures, which I don't have any. Command Icarus Steelfoot. Okay, so Icarus Steelfoot has a base attack right now of 4 because it's all dependent on our center row. So Icarus Steelfoot could get to the point where she could see. I think she can actually see. Line of sight is very straightforward. And this actually doesn't break line of sight. So yeah, she could see Runic Lycanthrope, but she can't, right? Because they didn't get any buffs. No. So what she's going to do is just go 1, 2, 3 directly towards her target. And now they're going to score 4 points. Okay. Back to me. And as you can see, hopefully at this point I have a really crappy hand. It is very straightforward to play this game. It's a basic deck builder at its heart. You're just getting to move tactically these miniatures and or standees around the mat. So let's go ahead and take care of this crappy hand. So I have 3 Apprentice and 1 Militia. So let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I might give Rut that boost. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But then the Nihil Bomber could just take him out. Alright, so I got 3 to spend. I don't have any way of, except for my Tusk Rider here, who's pretty handy. with all that additional movement at the beginning. So I think that's how I'm going to spend my 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Easily takes this guy out. I don't get any points for him. But I'm going to score 2 at the end of the round. And then I can buy something for 3. Draw 2 cards. Another Giga Cultist. Put Giga Cultist into your hand. Command a Cultist for free. Ambush, you may banish a card you have played this turn. I actually like that. Alright, so we're going to take the Temple Librarian. I can banish, yeah, one of my apprentices here. I don't want to get those mixed up. Alright. Start thinning out my deck. Okay, so not super great. I am getting 2 points for my Tusk Rider. And now it's on to them. So, Armory Theft. Equip a construct from the center row to the Sun Villain, which is the Nihil Bomber. Now, there is not a construct, so we're good. And then command the Nihil Bomber. So again, we know what he wants to do. He can't reach anybody else, so he's going to go there. This number down here is 16. We're definitely not at 16. This should be 8, 9, 10. This should be 12. I'll count them next time. Each player destroys one of their equipped constructs. Now, there is a difference. Destroyed means that it just goes into my discard pile. Banished means it's removed from the game. So that's unfortunate. And you know what I forgot? Since Runic Lycanthrope had a construct, he could have ended up here and been in this stuff. All right, command Icarus Steelfoot. So Icarus Steelfoot is already here, so it's going to score 2. So we can go from 4 to 6. And then we're going to command the Hedron Smithy. It's going to go 1, 2 right there. It also wants to attack the Tusk Rider. It's got an attack of 8. And it can only be attacked by champions equipped with constructs. Awesome. And there's none to purchase. That might be my downfall in this game, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so he is going to defeat the Tusk Rider. Man. Okay. Not good, not good, not good. And then they're going to get 6 points now. Make it sure. Yeah. Icarus Steelfoot could not have attacked the Runic Lycanthrope and could not have attacked the Tusk Riders before I gave her those extra 4 points. All right. So they're up to 20 now. They're halfway to victory, and we are lagging behind a little bit at 13. We definitely need to get out there and do some stuff. I need some constructs to come out. Anyways. All right, we're going to stop the video here. We're going to pick back up in an extended playthrough video. Hopefully this video has at least given you guys an idea of how to play the game. If this interests you, retail copies of this game are running for $40 to $50 on most online retailers. So definitely not the overpriced miniatures version. But if you are really into miniatures, if you're really into painting the miniatures, they look nice on the Kickstarter, so maybe that would be worth picking up the miniatures version. I don't know how readily available the miniatures version is, though. The retail version, though, is pretty readily available right now. So if you can live with the standees and you are a fan of deck builders or a fan of the Ascension series, especially, I would definitely recommend this one because it's been a lot of fun. This has actually been the longest game so far. Normally I'm done by now, but I've been playing kind of the more simple, more introductory ones up to this point, so maybe that's why too. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more content like this in the future, please consider subscribing to the channel. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.